Hello and welcome to DCP Live, episode number 207, the most delicious brisket episode.
Hold on, I'm loading up our stream so I can see
me too.
what diabolical things are happening.
As great as I thought it would be.
Briar might be a little quiet tonight. Just letting you guys know.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Yeah. Oh no. Oh no. Did we do
no
it?
Or oh yes?
Yeah, I think oh yes, right?
Doesn't mean Briar's not still around.
Yeah, exactly. Right?
This is just from his hand.
Just more delicious.
There's enough of him left. There's like 70% of Briar left.
Oh my gosh. Well, unless diabolical events, did you guys actually, maybe this is diabolical. Did you guys get an Xbox pre-order secured?
Yes.
Yes, it was a stressful 90 minutes, but yes.
Did you consult with the devil to get this pre-order?
No.
I used one of my secret retail connects to help me.
Secret retail connect.
We do not
really,
own
no,
robots in this household. No robots. Zero robots.
It's not a robot.
Wait.
No.
No, it's just people who like have hints.
Toad has no robots.
Tomo he's what? I feel like Tomo has the connect on a certain bot to grab an order.
Robots.
No?
Zero robots.
Okay.
Although it is very nice when researchers, that's the wrong word, when companies are like, hey, a thing is going live at this very specific time. It gives people all the time in the world to set up their robots. Not that
this was the problem with the Xbox launch. Is like everyone's like, oh, it's gonna be smoother in the PS5 launch because like it's gonna go live at the same time. It's like, no, that makes it way worse because then like, everyone is just stacked on these sites. Like the first hour, literally every site I tried to go on was broken. Like I couldn't do anything. And then the only reason I got one was eventually Amazon went live, and I got some like gift link or something that worked before other links, and that I got it that way. But even then, I don't know what the ship date's going to be because like Amazon does not seem to be terribly reliable for on-time ship dates.
They seem really non-committal when it comes to that stuff. They're like, we'll let you know.
They're like, well, we know you ordered it.
Yeah.
So
you have a console right now. Do you really need like another one? Like
just be thankful you got a receipt. All right. Because we'll see about making this good.
That's the thing, right? Like both launches were bad for completely different reasons. It was like PlayStation, of course, it kind of sucks that no one's prepared, and then all of a sudden it's freaking pandemonium. Yeah. But then with a super pre-planned specific time launch, everyone has time to get ready for it.
Yeah.
And then you're fighting against lots of robots.
It's just, I think the only way to circumvent these issues is to like give out a lottery system where people sign up, and like if you happen to get a lottery to buy the console, then you got your secured order. Otherwise, they're always just going to organically DDoS all these sites every single time there's like a giant launch like this. Like
Sony kind of tried to do that. They had this like email sign up thing, but like
I never got an
email. I don't know.
I never got an email.
Yeah, I didn't get that email.
I know a couple people did, but that did not exactly work as intended.
Yeah, I signed up right away when I got that. I was like, oh, sweet. And then, I haven't heard anything. Actually, has there been any people talk? Oh,
yeah, and they sold out. I don't know how many people got them, but it's over. So sorry.
Interesting. Wow, that must have been a super limited pool too.
Yeah, I got 2 PS5s. I have a disc and a digital. I'm keeping them both for now, and I'm starting to have like a waiting list of friends for the disc one that I'm not going to keep.
You're like Spider.
So so if they can't get one before launch, like they're gonna. I'm buying mine off me or something. So
how many legendary shards do you need for a PS5?
40,000.
Just 40,000. Wow, I'm halfway there.
Actually, that's not very much. Maybe 400,000. Yeah, that's probably
okay. That sounds that sounds like too much, man.
A gap of shards? I don't even know. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I don't know. There might be. Somebody guaranteed has like farmed enough.
I wonder what the record is for like most legendary shards in the game.
Yeah. So I slept through the deadline to get an Xbox. It's unfortunate.
It was very early in the morning.
More stock is periodically coming. It's just at very random times. Like GameStop is having more go up tomorrow at some unspecified time. So just hang out by your computer all day and refresh the GameStop website, I guess.
That's what it is. The season of refreshing carts, right? Or pages.
Yeah, or just follow Wario64 on Twitter. That guy like instantly tweets everything, so he would know.
Yeah, that's actually the play, right? Follow that account.
That's why I got my PS5 is through him. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I got a PS5 digital on Amazon. Same type of thing where it's like, we don't have an exact date yet, but it's coming, you know.
Yep.
And then I got a Best Buy pre-order secured along with the replacement plan, which that's what I originally wanted. Was the Best Buy one, so I can if the launch console does break, they can always bring it back and get another one, assuming they have stock.
Yeah, Best Buy is nice for that stuff.
I could never get my Best Buy cart to work. I had one in my cart from like the minute they went up, and then it would never let me load my cart again. So I think I got Target and Walmart for PS5, and then Amazon for Xbox.
Okay, yeah. I ended up doing it at like 3 a.m. for Best Buy and ended up working, which is weird. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess they just refilled at random times.
Random. Yeah. It's all random.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. I feel like I'm just randomly refreshing pages, wasting tons of time.
Is, have you signed up for Amazon's cloud streaming game service that went
Tell me about this. I literally just heard a little bit about this today.
Okay, so I already forgot what it's called. Luna? I think it's called Luna.
It's called Luna.
And it's another cloud streaming service from a giant megacorp, which obviously makes you think of Stadia. The good news is that it doesn't have the garbage Stadia model of it costs a subscription and you have to buy games individually. It does kind of work like Game Pass in that you just pay the subscription and then you get access to all the games.
Okay.
And then they talked about adding like specific publisher channels. So you would subscribe to like the Ubisoft channel and you'd get like whatever Ubisoft games are on that. Okay. The bad news is the initial offering of games. I mean, they're good games, but it's kind of a random hodgepodge of stuff. Amazon has already demonstrated kind of their inability to make actual first-party video games with the Crucible launch. I heard New World went better, but even I'm not convinced that that's going to be some sort of giant mega hit for them. I just don't know. I don't understand the market for this right now. Like xCloud makes sense because it's all integrated into the Microsoft Xbox ecosystem. But the standalones from Amazon and Google, like they have way less games than Microsoft and Sony. Clearly, people do not have a problem still needing to buy consoles, which are selling out in 8 seconds as soon as they go online. So I could see it in the far-flung future. Maybe all games move to this model someday, but like right now, it seems like there's very little reason to pick one of these things up.
My biggest problem with the whole cloud-based stuff right now is that the internet architecture just is not mature enough to support like the user base that they really need,
especially in the US.
Yeah. I mean, the United States has so many spotty areas of internet. It's getting better for sure, like in certain metropolitan areas, but like by and large, there is so many areas in the United States that have really rough internet in comparison. And like that's the biggest hurdle right there. I don't know what the situation is in Europe. I know a lot of people have, or a lot of those areas have been forward thinking, future thinking, like been installing fiber and making that more available, but that's like the biggest hurdle right there, right?
Yeah, you're not going to be able to have a massive platform that's wildly successful if a ton of people can't even use it,
right?
So, regardless of what games you have on there.
Yeah,
it's a two-front thing. It's a technical challenge and it's a usage challenge. Like, I could see in certain contexts traveling, like wanting to use remote cloud streaming for this or that, but like as a primary means of playing games, I feel like it's such a small niche that would ever do that.
Yeah, exactly. And also gamers are kind of they're preconditioned to want to like own the game right now, to have it like be able to say like it's downloaded and play off the hard drive. Like if the internet does go out, it's still gonna play if it's on an online game. Yeah.
I did like no patching in cloud services. That's like the best thing about cloud services.
Yeah, you're right.
Is no patches. That's amazing. But
really, the best thing that came out of Stadia that I've seen is developers are able to use Stadia to test their game while they're working from home.
That's amazing.
It's like, hey, that's actually that's cool. I'm glad they're doing a service for somebody.
And apparently, the Stadia Trials games are pretty consistent.
It was the go-to spot for Trials,
right?
It is the
with
Trials
all like
competitive
300 total players or something.
Yeah.
Guaranteed.
You
no
better hope
cheaters.
you're better than the people on Stadia, because they're the only people you're going to play against.
The 3 other teams.
Maybe you can trade wins. I don't know, just a thought.
You probably could, honestly, with that small of a base.
I still have yet to try that out. I really should. I mean, I got good internet, 1 gig, fiber.
I mean, I did it just as a trial for a while, and like I had this issue where like Stadia did not work with my router, and it was like horrendous for my whole test period, to the point where like I wrote a scathing review of it, and then like I was on the phone with Google, like, and them sending me like new routers and all this stuff to fix it, because they were like so devastated that it didn't work for me. They finally got it fixed. It was something with my like mesh internet or something, but it was a very bad experience at launch for me.
Interesting.
That's weird.
Yeah. Did anybody pre-order a 3090?
No. I'm first of all, it's impossible. Well, Tomo got one, but it's impossible.
Of course Tomo got one. Zero bots, right?
But no. No, so actually, like, a lot of it is Discords that you can get into that are like exclusive Discords, because they will ping people when stuff comes up. So like the Newegg thing, the 3080, Newegg got some 3080s the day before the 3080 launched. So the Discord will ping people like, hey, here's the page, go order. So it's kind of that, more so above the bots that are super helpful.
What's the secret?
You get the lowdown on all the secret stuff.
What's the secret passcode to get into Discord?
No, it's all some black market stuff. I stay away from it.
You gotta
sounds spooky.
Serve up some cooked briar.
You gotta mail some briar thigh over, and they let you in.
Yeah, that'll get them. Yeah, I didn't. I don't have 1,500 to spend on a graphics card right now.
I know. And I'm just kind of like, because I have the 2080 Ti. I think I'm just gonna wait.
Yeah, that's solid.
There's
right?
no rush for me to get it. So
if you were exclusively looking at the ray tracing ability, then it'd be worth it. But like, there's Cyberpunk, but I'm sure Cyberpunk's going to run fine, like in 1440 with the 2080 Ti. Yeah. I have a 1080 Ti, so I definitely want to upgrade at some point. So that's why I'm looking at a 3080, which I still have yet to grab one of those. So I'm out of a Xbox pre-order and a 3080 pre-order so far. So not looking good.
You'll get there.
Right?
It'll be okay.
You gotta collect them all.
Gotta get them all, man. So Destiny, right?
Destiny.
Yes.
There was a quest that was added to Destiny that was new this week, and this is of course to honor an employee who worked at Vicarious Visions. No, Vicarious Visions was of course a part of the team that helped with Mars and all that good stuff. So there was a special quest that you could go to. Has everyone done it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Done the quest. So it was a special quest that you could do that was honoring Matt Helsum. He died of cancer, so they wanted to honor him in the game, which I thought was phenomenal. And the way that they did it was so good, because now they've woven Matt into the lore of Destiny, so he is going to be a part of the lore of Destiny and the world of Destiny forever. So really that cool. was very emotional.
Yeah, the Anna text was
that I think
well written.
It was extremely well written, and I think I read it about 4 times and cried every single time. So it was very emotional. I'm really glad that they did something like that.
Yeah, it was really nice.
Yeah, you got an exotic cipher for anyone that needs it.
That's true. Couldn't pick it up, but I had to wait. I have to wait for Zer to come back to spend the one I have, and then I got to go back to her to get it. Because I saved my other one, but I didn't know those couldn't stack. So I think this is the second one we've gotten.
I think so.
Did I spend mine? I don't feel like I would have spent my cipher.
Did you do it by accident at Zer for a free bonus?
I did.
Whatever those are called, faded engram.
I must have, yeah.
Because if you're not careful, you might just do it by accident.
I think I probably did that. Although I don't.
I was saving it because I didn't know what they might add that you could buy with those like next season. But whatever. If they can't stack, I'll just get something from there.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was basically it for new stuff this week, right? Did the tree move, Paul? What's tree date? How's that going?
Yeah.
No, I'm on tree watch vacation. Like, once I did it, the week that they launched Traveler's Chosen, and then I did it the week after because nothing happened the previous week. I'm like, all right, well, maybe they pushed it a week, just to not overlap with the other one, but then nothing happened. And so if they didn't do that, I have to assume that they're pushing it pretty far down the line, and it's going to be a lot closer to the actual launch of Beyond Light, because I assume that there is some sort of story component or world development thing that is happening that ties more directly into Beyond Light. That would be weird to debut like a month and a half early. So
Yeah,
I'm gonna take a break for at least a couple of weeks, maybe starting toward the tail end of October. I might pick it up again, but someone will probably beat me to it and just let me know if it's worth doing again or not. But Tree Watch is dead for the time being.
Rest in peace, Tree Watch.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it's TWAB time.
It is.
This TWAB was quite
Yeah.
juicy. Now, there was something that went out on Twitter, I believe it was yesterday, which was just like a sound clip of how Europa is going to sound. And they went into the different kind of weather and blizzards that they're working on for Europa, which was super cool because I didn't even think about this stuff, right? Like, I love games that have weather changes, even if it's, even if I know it's coming. But we haven't had anything like that in Destiny. Yeah. So putting it on Europa is super cool because they've got the sounds of like the howling wind. And in the trailer, you actually got to see the Fallen have, I think it must have been in like the most blizzardy conditions because you just saw like lasers and lights coming out of the blizzard. That's so I was like, okay, that's what it's going to look like. But it was really interesting to read about it because they said that they went through some iterations of like being able to knock you off your sparrow when the blizzard's really bad, or maybe you throw a grenade and it goes in the other direction. And I'm like, this sounds amazing for the first couple times, but then you're stuck with Europa for the rest of your life. You're going to be pissed.
You're like, heroic public event in a blizzard? Nah, back to orbit.
Yeah, no thanks. So they decided not to do that. So I think mostly it's like a visual thing, but either way, I think it's really cool. It makes the planet feel more alive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, and it opens up the possibility of other weather systems on other planets in the future, potentially, which...
I want rain.
Yes.
Yeah, I was thinking like thunderstorms, because when I think of weather systems now, I kind of immediately think of Ghost of Tsushima and like how the weather just totally affected everything you were doing in that game, like visually and, things like that. So I'm very curious to see kind of what else they bring to it. I'm also wondering about the Cosmodrome, if they'll have weather there, because that's like a snowy area too. So I'm curious if they might implement that thing there. But
did they say
I also think they may have mentioned that? No, they didn't say they were doing it. So
no, did they say it was going to be snowy?
The Cosmodrome at all.
The snowy.
I mean, Cosmodrome was always like kind of snowy, right? Like it was like medium snowy, and then it was like heavy snowy once it evolved.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I didn't think about that. There was like patches
of
snow,
Russia,
right?
yeah.
Mm-hmm. No, you're right. Yeah.
So, we'll see. They've really said pretty much nothing about the return of the Cosmodrome. I assume that's kind of going to be its own reveal at some point too.
Yeah. Makes me very excited. The map for Europa looks...
Oh my goodness.
big,
I'm just looking at it, and it's definitely big. Yeah, it's a big one.
It's a chunky map.
Yeah,
so they showed the map, and it's got Eventide ruins at the top, which once was home to thousands of settlers, and now all that remains of Clovis Bray's colony. And you have Cadmus Ridge, which is a snowy landscape and the last known location of the buried Bray Exo Science Facility, which is very interesting. In the trailer, we saw like an Exo with a Vex, right? And they were like, I don't know.
Oh yeah, they're like
something creepy is going on over there.
Manufacturing Vex. That seems bad. Okay.
Were they docking with the Vex?
They're doing the whole Avatar thing with the stickers.
They're breeding.
Are they making bang robots?
They might be making robots.
What the hell's going on
here? They might be.
Yeah,
the map's super cool. And then I'm just excited to get in there. And with the blizzard thing was super cool. I highly recommend that anyone just checks out what the blizzard sounds like, because the sound was really good.
Yeah, I love the concepts of the weather changing and all that. Like, has Destiny always had... I feel like it's always had like a day-night cycle where it makes sense. in like
Yeah.
the Cosmic Drone had the night cycle and day cycle, and that was always really cool to see because the skyboxes are amazing. But having the weather incorporated with that, so good. That's going to be really nice.
Yeah, they did a whole article about it, which I love seeing.
Mm-hmm.
Can't wait till I'm looking for the next Almighty in the sky, and then it's just an overcast day, and I just can't see the sun at all. Damn it! Reload instance, just
right, yeah.
Change the weather.
That's the other thing too. I wonder if it's going to be reloadable to change the instance, or if it's going to be global. Right,
like, that might tie into some of the technical things and the rest of the TWAB, based on what they change with that. But
yeah. They also said Game Pass. It's official.
Official.
If you have Game Pass for Xbox, you now have Forsaken and
Shadowkeep.
Yeah, you're gonna have basically everything once it drops. So right now, yeah, Shadowkeep and Forsaken, but also Beyond Light when that happens. But right now, like if you've been thinking about it on Xbox.
Yeah, you get to experience a lot of the game for included with your Game Pass and for free now. So hopefully some more folks jump in. I'm sure they will, especially when it comes to PC Game Pass.
Yeah. Do you know Game Pass subs have jumped 50% over the summer?
Holy
Isn't that
crap.
insane?
10 to 15 million in like 4.5 months. It's wild. So yeah, I think more people will be jumping in.
Yeah, that's why we were talking before about, what's the deal with Destiny going to Game Pass or any company going with Game Pass, and it's like the install base is freaking massive.
Yeah, huge install base, and I'm sure they got some money for it too, so why not?
Yep.
They're like, 10 to 15 million new subs? I guess we'll buy ZeniMax. Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah,
that is crazy.
That's huge. I mean, if you have an Xbox or if you have friends who have Xbox that have Game Pass already, I mean, so easy now to be like, hey, check out Destiny. See if you like it. They can play all the content basically that is
so easy to answer that question now, because you get the question all the time of like, should I jump into Destiny? What do you think? And it's like, just try it. It's free. It's on Game Pass. There's no reason to just try it yourself.
Well, I'll also do it 2 months before they remove like all the year one campaign content, because that's going away, and then the new player experience is changing to something that we don't quite know about. So I'm still curious to know what they're going to do with that. So
yeah, that is one thing right now with Destiny. If you're a brand new player and you load it up, it is extremely confusing, right? Like you get dumped onto the Cosmic Drone, play that mission, and then it's like, here's the director.
I wonder if they'll just forget the Red War happened. Let's not talk about it. We'll move all of the beginning stuff to the Cosmodrome. So when you start as a new player, it's just all Cosmodrome based, which is very D1, and then go from there.
I know you're laughing, but I think that's actually what they're going to do. I really think it's going to be a built out Cosmodrome D1 thing. I don't know if it'll be the exact same missions, but I mean, maybe at least for a little bit of the chain.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, the value of Game Pass keeps on getting better and better.
And it gets even better if you want to hop into Iron Banner next week.
Oh, Iron Banner's coming back.
Oh, yeah.
Honestly, I really enjoy Iron Banner simply for the fact that a bunch of people go into the same playlist.
Yeah.
So matches tend to just feel a bit more fun. You're finding all sorts of people in there. So Iron Banner is starting on the 29th at 10 a.m. Pacific.
Yeah, I have the
same. And of course, you get Pinnacle feeling every time.
Yep, 4 pinnacles that you can grind towards, and same weapons still. But I have the same feeling. Like when Iron Banner happens, it feels like a generally pretty good playlist to play for a bit. You still experience the issues of Destiny's PvP, but it seems like one of the best playlists when you jump in there. I do notice people complaining about Trials of Osiris a lot more, saying that it's like just sweat lords and recoveries and aimbotters happening in Trials when I feel like most of the population is playing Iron Banner instead.
Oh yeah, it's totally on different plane. Like they're both like pinnacle PvP activities, but I mean Iron Banner feels like quick play compared to Trials. Like I don't think they're even remotely close.
Yeah. Yep. So yeah, Iron Banner.
Do we want to get into the talking tech?
We kind of have to.
We have to.
To a certain extent.
God, I can wish we could.
We're all such
I know,
experts
David.
here.
We should have been like, David, please come on the show. I have no idea what's happening. Then I'll be told,
Should
no, I can't.
Do you want me to read it and we talk about the paragraphs as we go by?
The whole
For a breakdown? We can just start out.
Let's just read it. You don't need to understand it. Just say the words.
Yeah. So the saying with Beyond Light and Fast Approach, it's time to shift our TWAB gears a little. Today we'll be talking through some of the back-end changes that will be coming to D2 on November 10th. To guide us through the process, we'll be passing the mic to Destiny Engineer Director David Aldridge. And this is in David Aldridge's voice now. When Destiny, I won't be changing my voice.
There's no accent. Okay.
Can you do an impression of him?
Or? So, when Destiny 2 launched 3 years ago, you see. 3 years ago, we had no idea that 2020 we'd announce a new trilogy of expansions, among other 2020 surprises. At the time, thought Destiny 2's arc would look a lot more like D1, a couple expansions. Learned many lessons from the transition to D2 and from shipping Curse of Osiris, Warmind, Forsaken, Year 2 seasons, Shadowkeep, all that stuff. When evaluated, learned a lot of lessons to support the strategy. We've made several tech investments to help sustain and evolve the game for years to come, and things are arriving in Beyond Light. Many of these changes are under the hood and won't affect your experience, except insofar as they have help us deliver you more and better Destiny in the future. But some may result in neat improvements and curious behavior differences or bugs. This means that on November 10th, some of these places and things will feel a little like sliders. Only 90s kids will get this. Sliders?
Do you guys get this?
No.
Like
I was a
burgers?
90s kid.
Yeah.
I'm also a 90s
I'm a
kid.
90s.
Is Sliders a movie?
It's a TV show.
Oh, it's a TV show.
From 95.
I was, I'm a 90s kid. I didn't get it. I'm
Canada.
sorry.
Why would I know this?
Sliders. I have no
Let's
idea.
see. What is the synopsis?
this
I
is the
think
first.
it looks like
first
Canadian
technical
Doctor
dot.
Who, from what I'm
Is this a Canadian show?
grabbing here. No, it is Canadian Doctor Who. The series follows a group of travelers as they use a wormhole to slide between different parallel universes. That is definitely Canadian Doctor Who.
So was this was it shown everywhere or was it just Canada? Maybe it's
No, it was
Canadian
on
native.
Fox. It was on Fox,
Oh,
and then it moved
okay.
to Sci-Fi. Yeah. So.
So-
strike one, David. Don't know about that.
Jerry O'Connell was the star of it. Interesting.
Oh, hold up. I do remember this show.
Wait, I need to see a picture.
Oh,
I don't know how it relates
crazy.
to what we're talking about here, but
Yeah.
Read
Me
it again.
neither.
Read that part again, Tassi.
Some places and things will feel a little like sliders.
like
Only
Doctor
90s
Who.
Nope.
kids. So some places in the Destiny universe is going to feel very different from what you're used to, like an alternate reality or different circumstances are going on.
Oh,
'cause they've been
like you're in the
messing
same
with the
place,
knobs.
but it's slightly different. Like maybe
oh,
there's
okay,
rain.
all right, yeah, that
Yeah.
makes sense.
So we'd like to give you a rundown of some of the changes and possible side effects of the sliders experience in Destiny. We shifted our mission scripting model to run on the physics host instead of the mission host. More details on that in another article you can read about. In the long run, this change will give designers options to create more novel mission mechanics by giving the mission scripting environment full access to the game state, instead of the much more limited access the mission host has. So they're going to have more options to make more missions, have more things that are going to be interesting for us to play. So that's a win right there. For example, the physics host knows exactly where the enemy combatants are and what actions they recently performed, while the mission host only knew how many combatants were alive in a squad and what the squad was generally trying to accomplish. And Beyond Light, we're only launching the foundations of this system, and we look forward to evolving and leveraging it in the future. So it's going to be kind of staged as they launch this stuff. What you might notice, these scripting environments changed many behaviors in complex ways, and you may see interesting behaviors, changes, or bugs in pre-Beyond Light missions and public events and similar that were originally built and tested on the previous system. We've tested these missions heavily and stamped out many bugs, but will undoubtedly slip through. For example, they caused the Prophecy Dungeon to be unavailable temporarily. Okay, we're all excited for Chapter Return.
That's why.
That's
Interesting.
why.
Okay.
That's really, isn't that weird? I
a
guess
big
it just
bug.
didn't work on the new system. Yeah. I mean, the new way that they're doing it is obviously much better for finding out what's going on in the game, more details about how people are interacting with content, so then they can make better content due to having more of that knowledge.
Yeah.
But also they can mess around with it more. So maybe when we have like these events in the game or something, they can add more stuff to activities, and that'd be cool.
One other dot on here says another cool new feature in this area is face-to-face joins in social spaces. So you can now fire team up with tower friends without a long tower reload. I'm not exactly sure what.
Explain it to me like I'm 5.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't know what it's talking about, but I did listen to Parasito explain this to Glad on stream for like 10 minutes.
Okay.
So one takeaway I got from what he was talking about was that whatever we just said there has something to do with like the different instances are going to change. So he gave an example of like the Seraph Towers, like you have the balls, you throw it at the Seraph Tower, and in your instance, that moves a thing. But under the new system, you could potentially have something where like someone in Australia throws a ball and it moves a global ball for like everybody. So that to me sounds like they could do more kind of like Fortnite type, like everyone chip in and do this thing to create something more impactful in the world itself. So it at least that could be like the long-term plan for it. Sure. So I just think it opens up a lot more possibilities in a lot of ways. Like it could be for individual missions or it could be for larger global events like that.
Yeah, we're all bosses.
Actually, so on this dot, just for the face-to-face join and social spaces, I think that what that means is that, like, you know how if you meet someone in a public event and they open their fire team and you join it, you get kicked to orbit and then join back in.
True.
You know what I mean? So I think what they've done with this is connected that so you don't have to, you know, go to the tower in the back or whatever the crap.
Yeah,
you know?
you can, like, say if I'm just running around and I see a friend in patrol, I'm like, oh, I want to join up with them. I can just invite them and they'll just be in my fire team. We don't need to do the whole leaving and rejoining. And
they don't have to leave their instance to then rejoin to join the same exact instance that is
that's
now
cool.
you being the fire team. I'm pretty sure that's what that means. It actually seems a lot more simpler.
When
it's just for some reason it reads like a two trains leaving at a different time problem.
It reads like there's a lot of Doctor Who space.
Sounds like Sliders,
happening.
Yeah, it sounds like Sliders, the '90s show that apparently everyone knows if you're a '90s kid. All right, moving on. We revamped our content building and patching pipeline for speed and install size. This is fantastic right here. With tremendous size of Destiny, our complete shippable content builds were frequently taking north of 24 hours. 24 hours to build the freaking game and ship it. That's crazy. Be like, that's like setting a project to render. Be like, oh,
yeah,
you forgot this one variable.
Yeah. You have to go back and do it again.
Re-render it for another 24 hours.
I've totally heard that that has sometimes been the case where someone's like, I'm it's loaded right now, and then the computer crashes. Like maybe they're doing it from their home and the computer crashes and they're like, oh, got to start all over again. That puts me a day behind.
Yeah, it's fascinating. Like, be like, how many drops did you put in there? 4. It was supposed to be 2. Well, we're delaying this.
Day late.
Okay. We made investments to bring that down to sub 12 hours. So it still takes half a day, which resulted in a bunch of changes to our content and patching formats. We also took on work to allow us to cull content that we've upgraded or replaced. Our previous patching system had limited capabilities here due to trying to minimize patch sizes and other constraints. That's interesting. So they couldn't just fix things because of the format being they were trying to make the format fast for patching, but inadvertently made it difficult to patch other things that way. So this is going to help, circumvent some of that as well.
Yeah, that's good.
Let's see. Current D2 install has a significant amount of accreted dead content. I think I pronounced that incorrectly. They have dead content in the current install base, e.g. assets in the base install that were replaced in later patches. So they need to cull out a bunch of that stuff.
It's a big job.
Mm-hmm. What you might notice, due to all the changes, Beyond Light will be a full re-download on all platforms.
Ooh. Give me that preload, baby.
Yeah, full preload. Wow. How's that going to work with...
There's a 10-hour window before it launches that you'll have, but that's tight, especially when it's new console or new Xbox launch day.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, but are they going to have like a separate Beyond Light like executable? Or is it going to be because
they're bringing out their own client? I'm just kidding.
Maybe
although that would open you up for crossplay. I'm just saying. It's much easier to do on your own client.
I should have kept writing. To help mitigate this, we're planning to enable Beyond Light preload sometime in the evening of November 9th Pacific time. which should give everybody at least 10 hours to download it. So sounds like it's probably going to be offline Destiny at least 10 hours before Beyond Light goes
10
live.
hours.
Seems like it, yeah.
1 p.m. Eastern minus 10 hours. I'm going to be up at like 3 a.m. aren't I?
Yeah, right?
Start downloading this.
I would imagine that there's at least that much time that's Destiny servers are off because of them. That's because this is a massive transfer. The huge changeover,
this is huge. This is a lot of tinkering.
Yeah, I'm kind of expecting things to break, like at least with the initial launch here. Like I think we're gonna have to kind of anticipate that to a certain extent.
Yeah, yep. In fact, they might even say stuff about that. But let's keep reading here. Destiny 2 install size will shrink by 30 to 40% due to a combination of culling unused or replaced content, install size optimizations, and moving some content to the Destiny content vault. Destiny 2's install size will shrink between 59 to 71 gigabytes, depending on your platform. That's good.
That's tiny for current gen. But it also tracks with like us kind of in our heads thinking that they're shelving 30 to 40% of content for the vault.
Right.
And then the size. I mean, I get that they're doing other stuff too, but it's just funny that, you know, the install size is shrinking by that amount when that's pretty much the amount of content they're cutting from the game to some extent.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely interesting. It's great that it's going to be more manageable to download again, but also like I'm pretty sure with the next gen type of stuff, it's going to, for instance, like the Series S isn't going to support 4K. So I imagine the Series S is going to be closer to that 59 gigabyte install.
I heard Series S games are 30% smaller, I think.
Yeah, they're 1440p, so they're not going to support 4K texture maps, which means that those games can be targeted to be smaller install sizes, which is nice because that helps.
Yeah, this is great.
That helps.
Hard drive is half the size too.
Exactly, the hard drive size is smaller, but games technically should be a little bit smaller in there. Okay, we hope to use these much faster builds to accomplish two things: help us ship mission critical fixes faster when game breaking bugs arise. What was the most infamous game breaking bug?
I'm trying to think of the ones they patched like the fastest.
Yeah, and then there was ones that they just disabled. We're like, we can't use this for months.
One of the fastest things I remember them doing is shutting off the Nightfall when it was too easy after 24 hours.
Yes. Yeah, Telesto. Oh, laser tag. Yeah, laser tag was
laser tag weekend. That was like a fun break though.
It was a thing that they couldn't patch right away. So they were like, all right. And wasn't there a time where you couldn't use, was it a Night Stalker? You couldn't use a certain subclass for a while because it was broken?
Oh, yeah, I do remember that. I don't remember why, but I remember that happening.
That was pretty bad because they just were like, nah, just can't play it. Sorry.
So theoretically, them making all these back-end changes is going to help those fixes happen quicker. Or until it doesn't happen quicker, and then we all take to Reddit with our pitchforks and become an angry mod.
Oh, there's that bug where they didn't nerf Mountaintop for like 8 months. And
that'll happen soon for sure.
Yeah.
Remember when One Eye Mask was perfectly fine and balanced for months?
Oh, I do.
Yeah.
Right. There's another point here. It says so the second thing that they're accomplishing with this is to reduce our overall ship pipeline depth, enabling us to work on Destiny releases closer, to their ship pipeline. Wait, I just confused myself. Let me start over. Reduce our overall ship pipeline depth, enabling us to work on Destiny releases closer to their ship dates, so we can react to fresher information about what's happening in the live game. Great. So
let's hear the example, and then we'll discuss.
Historically, each of our seasons has had to get deep into production before the preceding season launch, preventing us from reacting to learnings from that preceding season. These tech improvements should give us 1 to 2 more weeks of flexibility on a seasonal scale, helping us pivot more quickly in some cases. So
that is very good, because we've had so many situations where like the Menagerie came out and then something else came out that's similar to the Menagerie, but it's not as good as the Menagerie. And they're like, why is it like that? Well, that's because of this, right? They can't work on the game that close to the ship of something. So they can't make changes based on community feedback as quick as they would like. So now they're going to be able to do it quicker. So that's great.
You know, the general rule of thumb has been like it takes a season to learn the lessons of the previous season. So like whatever people like or didn't like about the season, it takes a full season to implement them. But I'm seeing this here, and if it's 1 to 2 weeks, I don't know if that'll be like a huge change. Like I get that for some stuff it will be, but I don't think it'll completely erase like what we learn from this current season can be. All of it can be applied to the next one directly. That might not fully get there.
Yeah, that's the impression I get too, because like Menagerie was a big hit, and then they were like, we've already built the next season or two of content.
But maybe they could have like messed with the reward system or something a little bit if they had 1 to 2 weeks. Nothing. They wouldn't be able to do anything crazy with 2 weeks, but maybe they could adjust some values or something.
Yeah, for sure. So that is. Wait, is this still David? Yeah, this is still David. Yep. Okay.
We're still in engineering territory here.
2 more points.
I wasn't sure if he completed. It says they rebuilt our character face system.
Exciting times.
Are we getting beards? That's the question. We at least
sounds like it.
Yeah. All right.
From this paragraph. Keep going.
We know that our Guardian's look is important to you. Is it? I keep my Guardian's helmet on all the time.
Same.
There's a reason for that, though. Most of the current faces are terrible.
Because you didn't know that you wouldn't be able to change it 3 years later. We've long waited to add more player customization to Destiny. Our original system for player faces had some combinatoric content authoring problems. For example, every decal.
Never heard that word.
David is definitely an engineer, guys.
Please talk to me like I'm 5, David. We really need to dumb it down to my level here.
Combinatoric. Your analysis feels...
That whole thing is the combinatoric content authoring problem.
Yes. Who hasn't run into their own set of combinatoric content authoring problems?
Yeah. You paint by numbers in Destiny. For example, for every decal had to be authored completely custom for each player face permutation. This prevented us from extending this area of the game with more content and features. We've upgraded to a significantly more capable system with runtime decal projection. Interesting. I actually assumed it was kind of a runtime projection type of thing and not having to be like applied each individual asset. That's crazy.
Yep.
Yeah, which, let's see, we hope to leverage for more player customization options in the future. As part of this process, we reviewed the existing player models with our diversity committee and employee resource groups in the studio to make small tweaks to existing player heads. We're also building a list of Guardian face shapes we should bring to the game in the future in order to increase Guardian diversity in Destiny, with the long-term goal of enabling everyone to imagine themselves as their Guardian. So what you might notice, your Guardian's face may look a bit different.
I'm going to load up and be like, who is this?
Wait, when they say diversity committee, does that mean like diversity committee? More racial options? Or am I reading that wrong?
I would assume, yeah. Like more,
I would assume so.
More face shapes.
Well, and it also says more player
variety.
customization options in the future.
Yeah.
So I'm interpreting this as beards. All of this says beards to me.
Paul, what if 2 years down the road, we still don't have beards?
I'll quit the game forever. Actually, I have 3 awoken females, so they're unlikely to be wearing beards. But
they can't have a beard. Why can't my awoken female have a beard?
They probably could anyway.
That's true. That'll be part of it.
Or
why can't my EXO put on a metal beard? Right.
This is actually fascinating to me because I always wondered why they changed literally nothing from like the Destiny 1.
Yeah, it was like 1-to-1, right?
Destiny 2. Like I was shocked that it was completely the same.
Yeah,
and that there's like a technical reason for it is kind of fascinating to learn. And why it hasn't been changed since, when that's been such a popular request. And like I have said, much to everyone's dismay many times, they could be selling microtransactions for like certain extreme face decals or beards or whatever. I'm just saying they could.
You're gonna make me.
Some people would buy it.
You can make me spend $5 on a beard.
It.
I'm gonna spend $5 on a beard. That's what's gonna happen. Not 10 though.
So long as they also have free beard, like crazy $10 braided beard options, or I don't know.
So like you got the basic beard, right? And then you got a bigger beard, and then you got like a Nordic, like down to the belly button beard type of thing.
Every inch you add, it's $1 more, and then
you gotta deal with those animations of it flowing in the wind. That's expensive. You better pay up. That's a $50 beard.
I'm not expecting super long beards or long hair, because those are always like way harder to.
They are a pain in the ass. That's why a lot of Japanese games are like, screw it, don't care if it clips into the armor. Hair's long and glorious. If it clips, don't care. Get over it.
Imagine.
You either have long hair or
you have enough problems with hunter capes.
You're on Europa, the blizzard kicks in, your beard starts flowing in the wind.
Next
And then you
gen.
see that you
Next
have
gen.
snow in your beard.
Yes.
You do an emote.
Snow particles in the beard. And also
It's
photo
like Destiny
mode.
5 we're talking about
Can
here.
we get a photo mode? Did David talk about photo mode? There better be some
No
under
one's
the hood
talked about photo mode. They still, they got to do it someday. I know it's a live game and it's harder in live games, but like the Division does it. They can do it if they wanted to. It would just be, I don't know, maybe with all these other changes, they can get around to it.
Exactly. Right. All right, moving on. We relit portions of EDZ and Nessus. During the early stages of Beyond Light production, the Lighting and Skies team had a desire to provide a visual refresh to the two remaining D2 Year 1 destinations, EDZ and Nessus, as they enter the fourth year in rotation. To that end, the teams performed relights and global lighting updates to a number of locations on both destinations. What you might notice, different lighting on existing destinations. No kidding. The changes are intentional and are meant to bring the visual quality of the spaces up to our current lighting standards, while providing a fresh coat of paint for some of our Year 1 locations. We hope you enjoy these updates to some familiar locations when you explore EDZ and Nessus this November. What this tells me is that there's definitely a visual upgrade coming with Beyond Light.
Mm-hmm.
You know, not just,
Yeah.
hey, we got a snow area now. Like, this is... Remember when... I feel like every major DLC, like if you've gone from The Taken King to Rise of Iron, the game, it has a subtle shift in visual look to it. You know, like they've always tweaked that stuff, and like this is exciting. Like I wonder if they are going to do ray tracing. You know,
it's interesting for sure.
Probably not with Beyond Light, but I would assume down the line they probably could.
Yeah.
But
like,
just to make clear to everyone, like this is not a new engine. Like this, all of this is not describing like Destiny's getting a new engine. It's like upgrades to the existing system, but it's not like a new engine. Like that's a whole
not
other
a brand
thing.
new engine. Yeah, it's a total different thing. This is a lot of tweaks to a pre-existing thing, which is going to make a huge difference. It's, you know, it's as big of a difference as having a new engine in terms of what we're going to notice. Like they're going to be able to upgrade things faster, update things, patch things faster. The install size is going to be smaller. They clearly saw that the old locations were not living up to Europa if they were like, ooh, need to update them.
yeah.
So all of that is like super exciting and a big deal. And being able to make your Guardians look different. There's a lot going on in here. But yeah, it's not a new engine.
What about like Tangled Shore and Dreaming City and the Moon though? Those are like in between.
I think those, I think they started making those when it was already like that was.
Well, so I'm wondering, like, is that the upgraded version that we haven't really?
Right. I mean,
Dreaming City. Are those better than EDZ and Nessus now that we just haven't really realized? I don't know. Or maybe they'll do it later. I don't know. Maybe they just can't do everything all at the same time.
That could be too.
Maybe.
Yeah. Or maybe it's all incremental type of stuff.
Maybe they felt people would be going to EDZ and Nessus more than the other places.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fascinating. Yeah, another thing. It is funny how like everybody jumps on like the new engine type of thing. And a new engine would be a enormous effort and cost and all that stuff. And of course, they're going to be working on the under the hood components of the current engine as they support the game. Like that's a no-brainer, right? Like they take the engine into the shop, they get some stuff replaced, they get some upgrades, they have some more things added to it. It's still technically the same engine, but it's been revamped for. It's like getting the latest version of Photoshop. They didn't completely rebuild Photoshop this year from last year. It's still Photoshop, but with more enhancements to it, you know?
I mean, I'm sure they're working on a new engine for like the long term, but I don't, they weren't just going to like kill it now. Like, well, not even just for Destiny, for like what, they're working on multiple IPs, so they might just be building something to be used for kind of all of this stuff in the future because they have this very, kind of massive long-term plan for not just Destiny, but multiple franchises. Like, I think their goal is to become like old Blizzard, like back when Blizzard was good.
When they said
doing these different things,
when they said there was no dedicated service coming, I was like, okay, I don't think there's going to be any kind of major engine shift. Like there's obviously going to be upgrades and updates to the current engine, but I don't think for Destiny they're going to make a major engine jump anytime in the future. I think it's still going to be an evolution of the same engine.
That's one thing Parasito said on stream when he was talking, was that this isn't dedicated servers, but like the stuff they're talking about is like kind of as close to dedicated servers as you get without literally being dedicated servers. So like it's moving in that direction. It's just not fully doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. It's so like Destiny for peer-to-peer for Destiny PvE is actually really fantastic. It's brilliant. Somebody from Australia can be playing with someone in Japan who could be playing with someone in like in the UK. It's like, what other game allows that to happen and not feel like you're rubber banding constantly in the same instance or have really bad ping times? It's really amazing what Destiny allows. Where it falls apart is the competitive PvP side, because then you notice just things that other games wouldn't allow happen, but those other games also wouldn't allow those 3 people to play on the same server across the world like that. So
yeah,
there's like there's the trade-off with that type of engine. And
for sure.
Yeah, as long as Destiny remains more of a PvE focused type of game, I think it's good for it in the long run. It sucks for the PvP side, but it is what it is, right? So
yeah, that's the technical stuff.
Yeah, that's what David said.
So there was who was it that did this? So David was talking in the TWAB about all of that, but then there was a Reddit AMA that the Destiny engineering manager Chris Kosanovich. Chris.
It's Chris.
Did a Reddit AMA. So you can ask him anything in there. So there's lots of stuff in there already. There's 287 comments. So people are asking a bunch of questions about this stuff. So if you want to find out more, head to the Reddit AMA.
I wonder if anybody's asked them why haven't they just copy pasted D1 into D2 yet?
No, they probably have. It's probably in there somewhere.
Cosmodrome. They're just doing it one thing at a time.
Control.
Already had the moon.
Control C, Control V, dude. So yeah, that's the technical talk. We got through that.
That wasn't bad.
Did anybody fall asleep?
We weren't completely lost during all of that. Could have been worse.
Emblems. Watts, let's hear about these emblems.
Emblems. So it's kind of, well, I guess we could try and describe them for our audio listeners. But there's going to be 7, they're showing off 7 new community emblems. So you have the fashion show, featured artist, movie of the week, Bungie bounty, and then they have stuff for mentors, ninjas, and shields, which they go into what those are. But I think we start from the fashion show. And how are you guys feeling? Do you like it? Do you like the fashion show emblem? This is all in the TWAB if you want to read along.
Yeah, it's good. I kind of like the current one better.
I like the current one better.
It's a guy with like a sword on it. It's very cool. But I guess since I can brag about how I won the fashion emblem, which I think you have too. Now we have something new to actually go out and earn, so that's cool. Because I kind of gave up on fashion contests because I knew there was no point continuing to try. But yeah, I'm excited to try and earn it again.
I haven't earned one. I kind of want this emblem. It looks nice. The thing is, I'm always going for a pumpkin spice Titan or a do you want to supersize your fries Warlock?
You could win with that.
Yeah?
You can win with that. Upload the pumpkin. I bet the pumpkin wins. Especially for October. I wonder if they'll have one. They're totally going to have
a Halloween contest.
Yeah, they're going to have one, and you should do your pumpkin for sure. Definitely.
We'll see.
You get the old one though. But I do 100% prefer the old one. This one's not bad. The old one's just very unique, you know. There's not a lot of emblems that have like a warrior on there or even a figure at all.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a really unique color palette as well. So I think that's really unique. But this one's not bad. It's purple and then there's like some pink flower looking petal thing.
Isn't that a lotus flower in there?
Lotus flower with a pearl in the middle, right? Maybe. That's what it looks like.
It's nice. I like it. It's a good looking emblem.
Featured artist.
Boo.
It's a bit of a.
I feel like this one's a bit called in, unfortunately. It's very abstract.
I don't get what they were going for.
I don't know. I mean, okay. I need to know how many people really like this emblem because I'm sure there's someone who loves it. But it's just like there's a square, and then there's like dots and lines that make up a square, and then the actual emblem is squigglies.
Squigglies.
Squiggly water.
Just squigglies.
It's the waves of creativity, the ripples of creative inspiration for your featured artist, Emblem.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, at least the movie one's good.
Yeah, movie of the week. Movie of the week is cool. This is my favorite movie of the week emblem that they've done.
Yeah, this one looks really cool. I've never submitted a
Is that
movie
like
a week.
the Aperture Science logo?
Yeah, it's
Maybe.
cool looking. I
like it a lot.
Kind of want this.
Yeah, I kind of want this. This one's nice. It's orange and then it's got black on it and a bunch of stuff going on in there. It's really nice. I like this one a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna have to do something clever.
I know. I don't have to think about.
Oh wait, I did get a movie of the week emblem because I was in the Destiny video where everyone was doing things at the camera, doing finishers. So I actually got one from that.
Wait, does everyone who participated in a video get an emblem?
Yeah, which is hilarious because like 40 people got emblems from that video.
Oh my god, my loophole.
So I gotta get into the sequel to that video and then I'll be all set.
Same. Hook me up.
Next is the Bungie Bounty emblem, which looks very similar to like the Guardian games look.
Yeah, or SRL.
This is a better palette than the Guardian games palette was. Like this is a much fresher, cleaner look for that kind of thing, I think.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I would like that a lot more if they just replace that.
Yeah. It's cool.
It's okay.
I like these except for the artist one.
Yeah. I know.
Maybe have like an artist design it, like one of the winning artists. I don't know.
Wow, that'd be cool.
I would love for them to do stuff like that in general, like have competitions for artists to create stuff and then try and work it into the game.
Yeah. That would be great. That's something Fortnite does all the time, where like fans just make skins, then Epic buys the skin idea from them and just makes it. that happens very frequently there.
Wow.
And then we have 3 emblems where one is for mentors, which they are the people who link players to general help articles on Bungie authored troubleshooting methods in the forum. So they're the ones that are kind of helping people out and get to the right information that they're looking for. So that's a mentor emblem. And then there's a ninja emblem, which they call, if no one knows, the moderators that work on forums are called ninjas. So they just go in there and like take people out when they're being rude. Yeah.
Silent.
Is that the forums or is that Reddit too?
I don't. It just says they work in the shadows. Okay, yeah, it says from our forums whenever the code of conduct is broken.
Gotcha.
And then there's another one called Shields, and these are basically mods for Bungie live streams. So any volunteers that have come forward for like charity events or showing off new stuff in the game, they're also going to have an emblem, which is okay. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, this emblem's alright.
Cool.
It's all right.
Simple, but they look good.
Yeah. Kind of on the same level as the artist emblem.
They're better than the artist one.
Wow.
I think they are. The ninja one is, especially with the throwing star.
Oh yeah, that one's cool. No, I was saying the shield one. The shield one's kind of on the same level.
The shield one, yeah. The shield one looks like a Datto logo or something.
It does, yeah. It actually does. It looks like it could have come from the raid, and I wouldn't have told you no. No, sorry, the dungeon. If it came from if you were like, I got this from Prophecy Dungeon, I'd be like, I believe you.
Yeah, right. Cool. Yeah, so that's emblems.
That's basically it, right? Besides movie of the weeks.
I think so, yeah.
There was a really cool one in movie of the week, which was the honorable mention, and it was the person who made a hunter cloak out of a bunch of people's different guardians. So everyone sent in images of their guardian.
That's really cool.
And then she put them on individual feathers and made a hunter cape out of it. So go check that out because that is freaking cool.
That looks like a tremendous amount of work.
Yeah, seriously.
It is an absurd amount of work.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's really cool.
It's amazing. Hunter cloak.
Yeah, I think that's about it. Dylan did say don't get used to meaty twab, so I don't know if that's a heads up about next week's twab being lame.
I mean, they kind of talk about Cosmodrome to some extent and kind of the new player experience. They're doing a sandbox thing sometime in October.
Yep.
But I do feel like they're kind of probably running out of stuff to talk about without giving too much away. Because like I don't know how much more they can say about Stasis and Europa without kind of really getting into spoiler territory at this point. So
yeah.
Festival of Lost, when's that start? Like the 3rd or something like that?
The second, whenever that. Yeah, it's.
So that's like, when is that?
No, wait, it's the 6th.
6th, my bad.
The 6th. Yeah. Okay, so not next week, but the week after. So we have a week of Iron Banner, and then we're jumping into Festival of the Lost.
It's Iron Banner week, nothing else is happening.
That's true.
Yeah,
That's
pretty much.
True.
Do we?
We have a month of festival. I still don't know what we're doing for festival. If we are doing,
is there anything changes? Yeah, I'm assuming it's going to be the same stuff with maybe a little bit of a twist with ice.
It was going to be in Beyond Light, so that's what's so interesting, right? It's like, what would it have been in Beyond Light? Who knows? Could have been anything.
Right.
I doubt. Well, I don't know. I was gonna say I doubt that they would have done Haunted Forest again for Beyond Light, but I mean, maybe
they could, because Mercury would have been gone.
That's true.
So that's really why I'm curious.
So it would have been
I didn't realize
completely different.
Well, either it'll be something really unique that was planned for Beyond Light, or it'll be even more of a copy paste because they had to scramble and just change it around at the last minute. So the armor looks awesome though. So I'm just excited about getting that armor by itself, regardless of what else happens.
Cool.
Yes. Festival of the Lost Armor tends to always be some of my favorites because it's just a little bit creepier.
Skeleton armor was not good.
Well, you can rock like the helmet and just other stuff to make it work.
It's tough to make that work. It's better than Guardian Games. I'll give you that.
And the hood is amazing. So I like things that are a little bit spookier, creepier.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's it.
So it's gonna be, I think it's gonna be like a slow climb into November, personally.
Probably.
It had to be. Like they couldn't just like invent things out of thin air to fill the time. I mean, we still have the end of Tree Watch, and that'll be a week of something, and then Festival of the Lost. I'm not really expecting anything besides that, though.
Yeah, we're not expecting any other exotic to drop, right?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I would be extremely surprised if that happened, but
yeah.
I just read one of the Twitter questions.
Is it time for Twitter questions?
I guess it's time.
I mean, I think it's time. I just brought it up because I knew it was getting to that time.
I better bring it up too.
So I brought up the thing because Briar, as you can tell, is not here in brain, but he's here in body.
You're in body. Oh my gosh.
So he was not here to pick out curated Twitter questions. So.
Yeah, this is uncurated, right?
Yes. So it's going to be a disaster is what we're saying.
Before we jump into that, quick note about how awesome it is that we have Patreon members that help support the show and make things happen. Thank you very much, Patreon members. You guys are awesome for making the stuff happen with all the podcasts that we got going on now. We have like 4 podcasts?
A lot. Yeah.
Under
4.
DCP now?
4.
Yeah.
Gotta get 7.
We got to go for the 7.
Mm-hmm.
Every day of the week.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Constant DCP podcast. Yeah, exactly. And if you want to support that dream, go search DCP Live Patreon and become a member for
DCP World Dominance. If you want to see that happen in your neighborhood, make sure to support us on Patreon or Twitch.
Yeah. If you want a bite of delicious Briar brisket, you might be able to get that on Patreon. No promises. No promises.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let's do some questions.
All right. I have the perfect question to kick it off. From Infamous Chim, who says, my question is, why was the question post so late? Did you guys eat Briar and that's why you're alleging that he's on vacation? Well,
as you can see.
Do we want to confirm or deny?
We haven't eaten him whole, so do not fear. It's okay.
No
Just
fear.
a little bit of brisket never hurt Briar.
Yeah, exactly. Right? Call Me Gall says, so beards, right? That's the question. Beards.
There's
actually
now a possibility of beards.
DMG commented on this. He said something on Reddit. He said it was vaguely worded on purpose, but they have passed along the request for like a barbershop type feature that they know everybody wants. So I'm still taking that as confirmation that yes, they will get beards. But
I'll take it.
Yeah. Got a quick question right here from Raphael Prime. Says, how long before y'all drag Tassi into a game of Among Us?
Oh.
I've never played Among Us.
Oh.
I wrote about it for the first time today, but I've never actually played it.
Are you
So I'm
avoiding
sure
Among Us?
Great at it. Hmm?
Do you want to play Among Us?
I could try.
You might be able to make that happen.
You might be able to have, yeah.
All right, I'm down.
There it is. Confirmation.
I don't have one. I'm looking.
This is the part where Breyer curates the list and he goes through and he usually rereads the same question and then goes, oh, wrong spot, and goes to the next one.
I know he usually knows exactly what's happening, but you know, not only are we reading them right now, but we're like, okay, so what is appropriate, which gets rid of at least most of them. So this question is from Jeremy Collins, who said, how would you feel if Bungie launched the raid 1 month after Beyond Light comes out? Personally, I feel like it would be better for the overall community. It would really open up that world's first race.
There's two sides.
I don't hate it.
There's two sides to look at it. One side is, why not? Why not let everybody have their ability to get up to the moment and then have it like at a set deadline, especially with contest on right now. The other side of it is a lot of people look at it as this is a race to get to the max level possible to then get raid ready, to then do the raid. And that's part of the jump in, you know?
Yeah. I think it'd be worth like experimenting down the line. I don't know about this launch though. I don't know if it's worth changing it for this. I think people are going to be too hyped to dive in and start leveling, especially with like a big expansion when the cap gets raised by such a high amount. It's like kind of a really fundamental part of the initial launch of it is trying to get, you know, to whatever level you're supposed to be to be raid ready. So I think it might be a little too risky to do that for Beyond Light.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think so. I do think that a month is too long because now we've seen that Bungie's like weaving in the world changing as people beat the raid, or you know, something opens up or a quest opens up or something. They're trying to link the raid to more so the overall story of the world instead of just being like, here's a raid that has no relevance to anyone else except people who raid. So you'd have to push that back. But also, I think the hype of the new DLC would kind of die down a little bit. And the raid race really helps keep that hype kind of continuing. So I'd be down with like 2 weeks, maybe.
Didn't Last Wish do that? 2 weeks?
Was Last Wish 2 weeks? I don't remember.
I think so. It definitely wasn't the first week.
I thought it was. Yeah. I think 2 weeks is a good limit.
Yeah.
I like it. And then contest puts everyone on the same field anyway. So when you all reach a certain point, you're not going to get any higher than that. Yeah, I would go okay with that. It sounds okay.
Yeah, but okay with the 2 weeks, yeah.
I would okay with that. Yeah, I do say.
From Eggplant Volcano. For Paul Tassi, what is the easiest way to see all your Destiny articles in one spot?
Oh, that's a good question. If you Google like just Forbes Destiny 2, there'll be a very, very long list. But we don't have a system where I can like tag something as Destiny 2 and then you click on it and they all show up. So that's kind of the messy way to do it. Otherwise, just you got to come back every day to get one new one because there will always pretty much be one.
Keep those clicks going.
I literally can't curate like a playlist of just Destiny articles like with the way the site currently works. So you'll have to suffer through like 2 Fortnite guides, me complaining about Avengers, and then you can have like a Destiny article, and then the process repeats itself.
That's funny.
I've got a question from Wayne, who says, if the changes to faces meant our guardians had to look like one of the departing NPCs, which would you most like your guardian to look like, and why is it Callus?
Is he departing like forever? He's not like dying like the other ones.
There's no way. There's no way. Callus is so important to the world. There's no way.
He's not dying. No.
No.
We haven't.
Although we don't know what's happening to Leviathan, which is kind of hilarious because we have all these very detailed explanations of what happened to everybody else, but they have not touched on Callus at all.
Maybe he's still going to be around, lurking in the shadows.
Leviathan's just chilling. We just can't go there anymore. Leviathan puts like a force field up.
Isn't it in the lore like Callus is actually somewhere else in the galaxy?
Oh, yeah, we don't actually know where he is.
That's just
we also don't really know what he looks like.
Yeah,
don't
that's
trust
just
them,
that's
robot.
just like a proxy or something that he's sending. That's
what Callus wants to look like. Okay,
that's what he envisions himself as, right?
Yeah, it's like if you like back in the day when you get a portrait and when you're like a royal, they're not going to draw you perfectly correct. They're going to face tune your portrait.
I think what happened was Callus was like, what would be the ideal sex robot? And then he made Callus.
Then he made 50,000 more of them. Just
he goes through a lot.
Yeah. Who else? Who are the other options? Are just Sloan, Vance, and Asher. Yeah,
I'm gonna be Asher.
I'll be Sloan. I like Sloan.
Sloan's cool looking.
Sloan's cool.
I'll be Takeo 3.
Takeo 3.
Oh wait, no, I'd be Ada because she's leaving. I forgot about that. That's sad. She deserves better.
She was always just shoved down in the basement.
Yeah, well, like the forges are being sunset, even though they're not in like the bad planets.
Oh,
I'm sad she's leaving.
Yeah. Are they just gonna like shut the door in the annex? Be like, well, see you later. It's just gonna be Drifter because there's not gonna be the robot or Ada. So it'll just be Drifter in the annex by himself.
Damn.
And he won't even be there because he'll be on Europa. So.
Yep. Defaz says, why do you think Bungie keeps shying away from systems they know work, like the ranked, unranked PvP, a la Halo, faction systems, a la D1, weekly vendor refreshes, etc.? Seems like they are constantly falling into the old adage, don't try to fix something that isn't broke.
Those are very different things. But the whole Halo thing has like kind of been an eternal question in a lot of games, where it's like, why has no one ever really replicated the old Halo ranked playlist as good as Halo did it? Like nobody has. It's like, Bungie or anybody. And
it's not as easy. Done.
A, it's probably not as easy as you think, and B, like I don't know, maybe it just doesn't fit the current landscape. But I'd love to see them try again for sure.
Yeah, I think Destiny is not like a PvP game, so I think we've even seen Bungie kind of pull away from that a little bit more, not in that we're gonna get rid of PvP completely, that would be crazy, but just pulling away from like, okay, we tried to make it competitive, we tried to do like a rank style thing, we didn't really completely do it. PvP is just fun and crazy and an additional way to go shoot your gun at people. So I don't know if we'll ever see like a fleshed out rank system in Destiny.
Hot take, factions were never good. So
what about D1 factions?
No, they weren't good either. They were like, they may have been better than D2 factions, but like what were D1 factions? It was like a vendor.
You rank to 100, you get a crispy ship.
Is that okay? I don't know.
You didn't like
they never really fleshed out factions as much as they could have in either game, and like D1 was better because they were at least a constant presence, and like you could get packages from them and like the exotic bond or whatever in the ship. But like that, I mean, that's like a pretty low bar, and I don't think they ever really figured out factions, and they spent like 5 years trying to figure it out, and they were just like, screw it. And now they're in the lore, and I just don't see them returning to the game in any real sense.
That makes me sad. Like I miss Future War Cult. I miss people jumping in Destiny and then suddenly having this like this identity getting associated, whether they're New Monarchy or Dead Orbit or Future War Cult, and then having these like pseudo fights over what's better. Like,
but I think Bungie wanted to just replace that dynamic with the dynamic that was also already there, which is just the class split, Hunter, Titan, Warlock. Like and that's why I think Guardian Games was kind of crafted as a pseudo replacement for Factions, which also was bad. But
yeah,
I don't think I think they thought that they didn't really need, two different triple split faction things when there was already one kind of built into the game, and they couldn't figure out how to do the other one correctly.
But the thing is, they still technically have that with the planetary vendors. Like, each one of those is like a real watered down faction. Yeah.
Yeah, but like, do those work either? No. Like, who's turning in materials for for gear from those guys these days? Like, I think that was like a year one thing that just didn't really pan out.
Fundamentally, I think they just didn't do it correctly. Personally, like you're right. D1 factions weren't that great, but at least it was something, and it was nice being able to pledge your character to a faction to get a rank up of other stuff that's also ranking up Vanguard or Crucible. And for me, I enjoyed that idea that there was these weapons that you can get from those factions that had roles that, like the Hung Jury. The Hung Jury was amazing. You definitely wanted to get the Hung Jury on that. What was the rocket launcher from Future War called? There was a sidearm. There was
a sidearm.
Yeah, there was stuff that came out in time in D1 that was like, Warpath. Yeah, there was some stuff that came out in D1 that was really specific to that. And well, yes, the way they did it and executed it definitely wasn't the best, but it was something, and I wish they built on it, because the cosmetic evolution of those things, it's actually just like a rank system for PvP. When you have these cool stepping stone cosmetic evolutions, it creates like an interest to want to like put time and resources towards that. So if people do want to rank up their PvP rank, and every like Gambit, how you have those third steps and all that, if you had cosmetics that were unlocked for stepping up that ladder, I think more people would be interested in that and play it more often. And I wish they would do something like that with factions too.
I miss the cosmetic aspect of it. Like, I really enjoyed trying to get a full armor set, trying to get all the ornaments for the armor, like back when they were at least doing that part of it. Like that part I did enjoy. It's just, this seems like one of those things where they also just didn't have the bandwidth for it. Like, we went 2 years without even getting like a normal vendor reset. So like them trying to fill out another set of 3 vendors with their own armor sets and their own, weapon reskins and their own perks and whatever, like, I just don't think they had the bandwidth for it ultimately, like, in addition to not really knowing how to run it like as an actual activity or part of the game.
Yeah, I agree. I think it definitely came down to bandwidth and then being able to actually deliver assets that were going to be interesting. Yeah, but man, like, imagine the Crucible weapons having these like ornament skin upgrades with, as time went by, as you ranked up. Like, that would be really cool.
Yeah, it would be cool. I'd like showing off my ship, when you turned in a ton of packages. And it was kind of exciting if you were still looking for a role in something, that every time you got the package, you were like, oh, this could be the one.
Yep.
So that was kind of nice.
Mm-hmm.
I have a question here from Twisted Terror, who said, hey, everyone. As a PS4 player, I feel like Beyond Light being on Game Pass is a slap in the face, since they get all the DLCs and Beyond Light, which I bought, and PlayStation canceled my pre-order due to delay. What are your thoughts about this?
Slap in the face. Did you play those day one? If you played them day one, like, you got your enjoyment out of that, right? Like, people getting it on Game Pass right now, we're literally at the time when most people are done playing that content and are playing other stuff right now, or just kind of doing maintenance.
Yeah, and yes, they will be getting Beyond Light on Game Pass, but they're not going to be getting any of the season stuff on Game Pass. They still have to pay for that. So, I mean, you have to keep paying for Game Pass as well. So if you are an avid Destiny 2 player, I don't actually know how Game Pass is going to help you out a ton. Maybe you'll save a bit of money, but you have to be subscribed to Game Pass like the entire time if you want to keep playing the stuff without buying it, right?
Yeah.
And then you still have to buy the season anyway. So I feel like you're not actually missing out on that much. It's really good for people who want to jump into Destiny and haven't played it before, and they can go through Forsaken and Shadowkeep and Beyond Light. But if you're an avid Destiny 2 player, I don't I don't think it's too
Are
crazy.
you going to be mad?
As long as we're avoiding content or console specific content again,
yeah,
I don't care. Like that was the real issue, and it being on Game Pass, I don't know. Like you can always get mad about like this game went on sale and I paid full price for it. Like that's kind of an endless argument for various, offerings.
Oh, yeah.
So
yeah,
it is what it is.
Yeah. I mean, on the flip side of it too is like on the Xbox side, are you going to be mad over the fact that there's going to be way more people playing PvP, playing strikes, playing like just in the game and filling the activities, right? Like that's a win. If you're an avid player and the game has a huge surge of players that are good to the game, not hackers like what's happened on PC, then I think that's a win.
Yeah, I agree. Totally agree.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. You're gonna end up paying for the DLC anyway with the money that you're spending for Game Pass.
Yep.
So I don't feel too bad about it.
Exactly. So Matters says, "Hey DCP, with the countdown to Beyond Light is getting lower by the day, are you feeling any pressure to prep this time around?"
I feel mild pressure, as in I will do the things that I currently want to do, and I just won't turn in those bounties. But I'm not going to go out of my way and do all the Gambit bounties and all the
Why would you
other
avoid
stuff
Gambit?
that I don't want to do. I don't mind Gambit if I take Trinity Ghoul in there and just like slay all the monsters. That's great. I have a good time doing that.
Become a real Gambiteer.
Yes, but it's just I'm now saving bounties. But I'm not going out and doing stuff that I wouldn't normally want to do. So I'm prepping like slightly.
I'll start saving bounties in a couple weeks. Like this is probably the most time I've stepped away from Destiny in a while. Like I've been beating my head against the wall in Avengers, trying to get that game to work mostly. And I don't really find I have that much to do in Destiny right now. Like I didn't really do the whole crazy Nightfall farm. Like I feel like I have enough stuff that where I'm prepped enough, and then I'll do the bounties once it gets closer, rather than trying to stack them all now. And I'm not doing like a world's first raid race. That's just not me. So I know leveling is going to be pretty easy. Like for the first, just going through the campaign, you get X amount of levels just kind of naturally. And
Yep.
Well, I do want to get stuff done kind of initially to write about it and get ahead of everyone else. I also have a job where I can play Destiny for 14 hours if I want to on launch day. So that's enough to get me ahead of most people by itself. So I'm not going to bend over backwards, like trying to get to the absolute, power max I can. Like there's a line I draw, and I know there'll be plenty of time later.
Yeah.
I have a question from Soccerbird55. Haven't played D2 since year 1 Curse of Osiris. Logged back on with Xbox Game Pass. Literally, what is going on? How do you figure out what to do and progress? Is there a TLDR for those who might be coming back to Destiny with Game Pass? God. Well, if you're looking for a TLDR on the entire story of Destiny, you can watch My Name is Bife's 20-hour video and get caught up on what's going on there. I don't know. There's I don't know. Right now, the best thing that you can do if you're playing right now, I would say, is go through the story campaigns that are there. Do you get them from Amanda?
So if he's last played at Osiris, he can get Warmind from Amanda, but then if he's on Game Pass, then he has Forsaken and Shadowkeep. So I would definitely recommend the Forsaken campaign, because that is very kind of linear. Like there's a big string of missions, and it's very good. It's probably the best story campaign the game has seen. Yeah. So I don't know how you start that. Go to Tangled Shore, talk to Spider. I think that's how you kick that off. There should be like a big icon that's the Forsaken icon, like over the Tangled Shore. So do that. But this reinforces how much they need to kind of streamline their new player intro process, because it is a nightmare for new or returning players. So.
What I've been telling people is that if you are picking it back up and you want to kind of get prepped for Beyond Light, do as many exotic quests as you can to secure the exotic gear, because that's going to continue with you and get more powerful most of the legendary stuff is eventually going to get phased out and won't be as powerful. There will be stuff that you can get right now that's going to be good for a whole year, but I wouldn't worry too much about legendary stuff because that's probably going to be easier to acquire in Beyond Light anyways.
Yeah. Just do story campaigns. Do story stuff. See story stuff, do story stuff.
Farm phase glass.
You might need it at some point. It's true.
That's something we need to hear at Swab about, is what's happening to materials.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Ace Dog says, follow-up question to a quest, or to a question, not a quest. He said quest in this, but a question last week. Is it cheating if you upgrade your Bang robot to a new model?
I missed the first part of this, so.
The first part of the question from last week, Paul, was: is it? I
can infer it, but
is it cheating?
No, we need an explanation.
Yeah, if you're partaking in a Bang robot, is it cheating? If you have a significant other and you're,
but the other part of it was if the robot looks like your significant other.
That's right. I actually forgot about that. Yeah.
That's what makes it weird.
I think the question is, if your significant other found out about this, would you end your relationship? Is more important than the definition of cheating or not. But that seems like the key issue.
Yeah, I don't remember what we came to the conclusion on the question. And then the follow-up is it cheating if you upgrade your Bang robot to a new model? So are you cheating?
Oh, so like, what if it's like, you know, when old men get with young women and they're like, upgraded to a newer model. Do they mean a younger robot?
Right.
A younger, perkier robot.
A not as worn in robot.
Sounds like a cyberpunk side quest. Just
the perfect
waiting
the
to happen.
Quest for the perfect Bang robot.
Yeah, I'm sure that's a quest in the game.
That might be.
Paul, will we be able to get an article written up on that, on how to do the best way?
Yeah, I'll get that definitely through my editors. You're right on that.
Oh, man.
I'm going to say, yeah, probably. Now it's cheating. It's a new model, and now it's cheating.
100%. There you go. We answered that question.
An add-on to that question from Ace Dog 00. If you baby bird your Bang robot with a 3090 that were farmed from Tefty, will Warlock still smell like piss?
Huh. After deep analysis and conclusions, yes. This is correct. Yeah.
Apparently Tefty knows how to farm 3090s, so could you let me know how to
I got all my info from Tomo. He's a master. He taught me everything I know. He's my sensei. Let's see.
The answer is yes.
What do you guys, from PD Pinecone says, what do you guys think about the rumor that Calavance's duty is coming back in Beyond Light? The scout rifle, Calavance's duty from Iron Banner.
I don't remember that one.
I don't remember.
You don't remember a
Calavance's duty? I've never heard it.
Convolos's doodles?
How do you spell that? I need to look it up.
Calavance's Calamarty's booty?
I literally tried to search this and it says, it looks like there aren't any great matches for your search. I've never seen that on Google.
It was.
Are you making it up?
It was a slow firing scout rifle in D1.
Calavance's duty. I have never seen this on Google. Colovance's duty.
Colovance's duty.
Okay.
Sorry, maybe I just bad at pronunciation, probably. What do you think?
Suggest that.
What do you think of those rumors?
This kind of looks like a Meta. With Iron Banner stuff on it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was slow firing. Slow firing.
What's
right?
What's the question?
Yeah, rate of fire is pretty low.
What do you think of the rumor coming back? I didn't even know there's a rumor.
I don't know. I'm excited to apparently used it for the very first time. I suppose.
Follow-up question, PD, are you making this rumor up? Are you the one?
Is this your rumor?
He's trying to generate hype for Colovance's duty.
Have you created this rumor and you trying to spread it through our
Who's
show?
Colavance? Is that like the secret Iron Lord nobody knew about? Colavance?
Yeah.
Does anyone? Yeah. Who's cold? Well, we have Mylan coming on October 28th, 9th,
Make sure
whatever
you
is a
ask him this.
Thursday. So we will make
Please.
sure to ask Mylan.
We need a
about...
follow-up on all the Iron Lord lore.
Wait. Okay, hang on.
Okay. Oh.
Lord Colivance was a warlock and member of the Iron Wolves, a team of guardians that operated under the banner of the Iron Lords.
Wait,
He
that's
studied
me.
under Lord Teemer. Yeah, wait, aren't we
Isn't
the
that
Iron
all
Wolves?
of us? Aren't we the wolves? Aren't we a wolf?
I thought we were like the Iron Wolf. Or something. No, we're the Young Wolf.
Oh.
Yeah, no, I guess he was on our team. But I don't know if he died or not. Oh no, he did. No, he died. he was killed by Siva, of course.
Oh. Welcome to DCP Googling things about Destiny, because we have no idea what's...
I have literally never heard of this weapon or this guy until right now.
Did you really never get Colivance's duty?
I might have. It just doesn't seem very memorable.
Man, I had.
Granted, I didn't play a ton of
roles.
Iron Banner in Destiny 1. Like, enough, but not enough to like probably have all the weapons.
I had a
Tefty
whole
is
set.
a secret scout rifle main. I don't know if you know this, Tefty, but I always see you with Randy's when you go into Crucible.
I
you're
love
like,
Randy's. Randy's throwing.
I think you're a
good.
scout rifle main.
I wish.
I think
here's
it chose you.
Here's really what it is. Here's really what it is. All right. I do not like warlocks. All right. But I really do like Talalok. And that was a fantastic scout rifle. And ever since I've tasted the sweet Talalok, I now yearn for that same experience in Destiny. All right.
Lord Colivance was a warlock, so better get used to it.
Maybe his gun will give you what you need.
I'm actually surprised he didn't have multiple. I had like multiple rolls of Colivance's duty. I remember collecting that gun.
I really don't remember this gun.
I would have thought that was like a Call of Duty pun if I didn't Google this, but
interesting. Yeah, it does kind of sound that way.
That's true. It does sound pretty funny.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, from Robin White. Is it just me, or have Bungie all but confirmed that the delay was due to move it to a new engine? Thoughts?
Yes. Confirmed new engine.
The delay was to get it on Game Pass, obviously.
The delay was so that Bungie could join Bethesda, and then Microsoft could purchase Bethesda, therefore purchasing Bungie and having a crossover with Halo and Doom.
They were, exactly. Doom
That's
guy.
the rule. If you're on Game Pass, Microsoft
Halo
owns
3.
you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, the rumor turns out to be not a rumor, it's real. Microsoft has been in talks to rebuy Bungie. They're totally going to go back. They're going home.
You get Hawkmoon and Beyond Light exclusive to
Guys
Xbox.
Are breaking news here. I got to go write this up. My favorite when that whole thing was going around was like that. Not only were they going to buy Bungie, that they were going to buy Bungie and give them Halo back and just like kick 343 right out of there. Just going to give you Halo back.
Yeah. They're like, you've had your time, 343. All right, Bungie, we need you to stop everything.
You lose. Save Halo Infinite.
Yeah.
This is your mission.
Oh my gosh. That is ridiculous. What was the question?
Is that why Beyond Light was delayed?
Oh, right. No, it was actually delayed because they didn't want to compete against Cyberpunk.
Sex robots.
Sex robots are pretty hot right now. All right. They didn't want to compete against those. And then Cyberpunk got delayed. Or was it?
Now it's competing against 9 other games. So that did not work out.
Yeah, not a big deal.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah.
I have a question from Mr. Goodbites, who said last week Fallout Plays threw down the gauntlet over how DCP Prime has the weird questions. I don't think so. Therefore, I think you should double down and bring back the classics. What's everyone's favorite drink and snake? Do we need a refresher? Do you have a new snake that you like? What's your favorite drink and snake?
Paul, what's your favorite drink and snake?
I must have missed this era of snake. Okay, I'll go with Cobra because I've been watching a lot of Cobra Kai lately.
So good.
Rules. And drink, I'm going to go with chocolate milk. It's very good.
So a Cobra.
Or is this supposed to be an alcoholic drink? Because
no, it could be whatever you want.
It's just drink and snake.
Yeah, it could be whatever you want. Yeah.
I feel like an old fashioned would go better with a Cobra than chocolate milk. So.
Are you eating the Cobra? Are you dipping the cobra?
I assume these are related somehow because they're in the same question. I assume I'm like entertaining a snake in one hand and drinking out of the other hand or something.
Yeah, you're having a full-on conversation with the snake.
Yeah. Yes. So there we go.
What's your favorite drink to have a full-blown conversation with the snake? And what is that snake?
When deep intellectual thought is
actually what that
happening.
question means. We figured it out after all these years.
Perfect.
For me, I don't remember what I originally said, but it's 2020. It's been a wild year. I'm gonna go with an old fashioned. I think they're delicious. I definitely like the old fashioned, and then I'm a big fan of Nacho Libre, and I like every now and then saying Anaconda Squeeze. So I'm gonna go with Anaconda.
So big.
Favorite drinks, probably Mexican Coca-Cola. It's great. Highly recommend. And I do love the Cobras, man. I do love Cobras. I know it's kind of an easy choice, but they just look so cool. They just look really cool.
And again, Cobra Kai. Have you been watching Cobra Kai?
Cobra Kai. I have. I have indeed.
Do you kind of want to kick some ass?
Always. Always.
Yeah, every now and then, Memes and I, we find each other in the hallway and assume the karate position. You know? Because we've been watching Cobra Kai as well. Yeah.
You fight or just stand there staring at the...
You just like do a little dance around each other.
Fake fights, you know?
Perfect.
Sound effects. Yep.
The show got really dark at the end of season 2. I was not...
Yeah, it did. No spoilers, but it did get
I won't say anything, but man, it's a much more intense show than I thought it would be just in general.
Let's see. Hugo Rune says, emergency question number 145. I have not read this yet, so I might duck out of this question. Be prepared.
It could go anyway.
I might duck out of this question. I might pull the zip cord and be like, nope. Have you ever used or had used upon you the chat up line, did it hurt when you fell from heaven? Because isn't it actually an insult? Doesn't it heavily imply that you were ejected from heaven for some misdemeanor like Satan?
Haven't had it used, but that is a amazing insight. Because why are you falling from heaven? What's going on here? What did you do?
What'd you get?
Are you implying that I'm a bad person?
Maybe you just tripped and like fell.
I don't know. It's
Can
possible.
You fall out of heaven?
I think so. It's just clouds. There's got to be a lot of gaps up there. Just fall through.
What a dangerous place to be
living. You have wings. I mean, if you have wings, why would you fall at all? I don't know.
There's gravity too to make you fall.
So they must have taken my wings away. So I must have done something wrong.
That's true. My wife's been watching a lot of Lucifer lately. And they go like really deep into all of this. So
maybe they Spartan kick you off the cloud.
That'd be kind of awesome.
That would be awesome. That's a great origin story. That's episode 1 of our super fantastic awesome TV series that we're selling to Netflix.
Yes. Getting Spartan kicked out of heaven.
Contact us, Netflix. We got ideas, all right?
We have all the ideas.
Yeah.
I've got a question from Anon. If you're alone in the woods with your sex robot and a tree falls onto the top half, I'm sorry, I can't finish this question. Tef reported a body in electrical with lights out. Who are you voting for? Well,
was that
I'm
the whole
clearly voting
question?
out Fran because Fran has some vendetta against me, and I don't know what it is. But now, if I'm an imposter, I just want to kill Fran. And if I'm not, I'm going to try and set him up somehow, some way.
Huh.
Yep.
Some bad blood.
We got to get Fran out.
I've got that being an imposter is bad. So I'm slowly learning the game.
It's actually really good, but it's very rare for you to be it because for some reason the game is weird when it picks imposters.
Yes.
Yeah. It's a lot of fun. But you also can break friendships. So you got to watch out. You got to use your head.
Risk reward. What are you going to
do? Reward. Yeah, we're voting Fran off.
Yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Jared Bryce says you can't travel, but your phone can access the internet 5 years in the future. What do you look up first?
5 years in the future.
The latest sex robot. How has technology advanced?
This honestly just sounds like a podcast with a bunch of high people on it, just talking about stuff that makes no sense.
That's the question's fault.
Definitely. Not because we encourage them.
Yeah.
No, not encouraged at all.
What do you look up?
So I think the first thing I'd want to know is, well, maybe I can only look up one thing, but I would like to look up a map of the world, because maybe in 5 years some places have been swallowed by the ocean, exploded
global
by
warming,
something. So I'd want to know what the world's looking like.
Little
I'm gonna Google if Destiny 3 came out or not.
See if they have a new engine.
Priorities. Or if they still just made expansions for the next 2 years.
You can find out if they sold to Microsoft.
I'll Google it and then I'll get the article I wrote about it in the future.
Is that plagiarism?
I'll tell myself. Yeah.
Is that plagiarism?
That's a good question.
This is like the Bang Robot.
This
is it cheating?
It's the exact same question.
You plagiarize yourself in the future.
If you stole an article from yourself,
I'm gonna go with no.
Yeah.
Say, hopefully that doesn't get me fired.
Yeah, from yourself.
I promise, future me is not sending me stories to write.
How can you be so sure?
All my predictions are perfectly accurate all the time.
Paul, where's the proof, man? You got to have some proof that you're not getting this from the future, all right?
Proof that you're not getting it from the future. That would be a little hard to provide, I guess, but I'll work on it.
I have a question from Sir Redbeard. What would you rather endure? An hour and 30-minute class on tether placement by Tefty, or have Holtzman play Magic the Gathering in front of you while you are trying to meet the new guest?
Wow.
I can just ignore Patrick.
Yeah.
I feel like Tefty going on and on and on for an hour and a half about what to put tether. I can't ignore him for that long.
I could drone on. Right? I think I'm going Holtz on this one.
Tell me more about these tethers.
Oh, give him an example.
It's just, if you don't, you see, the thing is, if you don't put the tether in the right spot, that's what triggers it. You're going down the path, and you're going to get a dissertation about what went wrong, how you could fix it, when, how, where, all those things.
That sounds very fascinating. Thank you.
Yeah. Yes. Should we do one more?
Yeah, let's do one more.
Let's say
something cool.
So from Josh Jackson, he says, while exploring the universe, Captain Kirk, Spock, and Bones discovered the Traveler on an alien planet. After interacting with it, the Traveler empowers them with light. What classes does the Enterprise crew go with? Hunter, Warlock, or Titan?
Ooh.
Oh, Kirk's definitely a Titan. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spock, Warlock.
Yeah.
Some knowledge. I don't know. Hunter doesn't really fit. Hunter would be like Uhura.
I feel like Spock could be a hunter.
Yeah.
Like me. Right? Like a little sneaky, like, ninja.
He does kind of have like ninja moves sometimes when he
sometimes
needs them.
he embraces the ninja a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I'm not super familiar with all the casts. I feel like Bones would be a Warlock. Because he's like...
Yeah, I could see Bones and Spock being a Warlock.
So everyone's a Warlock. We're abandoning this idea immediately.
Everyone's a... Does that mean the ship really stinks?
Yes. Yes. Because Tefty's been feeding them 3090s.
3090s? They eat 3090s? Wow. Amazing.
Fascinating. And that's what we think about the Destiny's new engine.
That's what it is. Can you believe that's what's happening with all the
engine is just made out of 3090s.
Yeah. They took all the 3090s. They took all your pre-orders.
2,000 together.
Yep. And they made the new Destiny engine sex robot that is coming to you in November.
That's what gives it the edge on the competition.
Yeah, that's why you want to. That's why you want to become a legend in Destiny. Greatness awaits.
I forgot that was the slogan. They never say that anymore.
Become legend.
Right?
Yeah. I guess we already became legend, and now we're just like
we're just here for the
existing as a legend.
It happened, and then we went on a drunken bender, and then got our lights stripped away, and we're like, "Oh god, this sucks. We gotta fix this."
Woke up hungover. Where's our light? We gotta find it.
Be like, "Why am I moving so slow?" God. All right, that is Destiny Community Podcast episode 207.
207, the one with Briar's meat.
Briar delicious brisket has been served. Thanks, Briar.
You're welcome.
Shout out to Briar for allowing that to
Shout
happen.
out to Briar for providing the food this evening. Thank you.
Yeah, the eats.
Yeah, I heard you can get more of them on his plane trip. So if you go to his stream and he's flying a plane, the service for that plane flight is brisket.
It's Briar's brisket. Oh my god. I think we're all getting kicked out of heaven. Spartan kids.
Maybe.
Yeah. Can be like, it says here on a podcast, you talked about eating your friend.
For years.
No, this wasn't a one-time thing. This was a long tradition. No admittance. Stamp. Boom. All right. Thank you very much for listening and watching and hanging out, guys. We really appreciate it. Again, shout out to our Patreon members. You guys make the show happen. Thank you very much for that. Also, shout out to our Twitch subs. And again, shout out to everyone watching and listening and hanging out. Paul, where can people find you?
At Paul Tassi on Twitter. Google Paul Tassi for my Forbes articles. And search YouTube for Paul Tassi, which is my channel name. And I still don't have a custom URL. So got to get on that. And then I wrote some books on Amazon that you can find there too.
Nice.
Nice.
Yes.
What's your upload schedule on YouTube right now?
It's like once or twice a week, usually Wednesday or Thursday. It'll be more once there's like actual things happening. So
yeah, that makes sense.
Right now it's a little slow.
Cool. Watts?
I am Miss 5000 Watts. You can find me on Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. Just look for Miss 5000 Watts.
And I am Tefty Teft. You can talk to me at Teft on Twitter. And catch my streams at twitch.tv/TeftyTeft. And yeah, thanks for hanging out and watching and listening. We'll see you next week, guys. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.